Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. Tonight we're going to be talking about a Southern California classic from 1980, Van Halen's Women and Children First. I mean, really, where do I begin when describing Van Halen? I mean, Eddie Van Halen, just as surely as Jimi Hendrix revolutionized electric guitar, you could say very much the same about Eddie Van Halen when he came on the scene with Van Halen's first album in 1978. This is their third studio album after Van Halen and Van Halen 2, the first one being in 78, and Van Halen 2 coming out in 79. We'll be covering both of those at a later time. But right now, let's focus on this one. Wow. I mean, you got the Van Halen brothers, Eddie on guitar, Alex on drums, frontman David Lee Roth, like no other. I mean, one of the best. Theatrical, over the top, loudmouth. I mean, he was very extroverted. And Michael Anthony holding down the bass duties and solid background vocals. I mean, his vocals were very, very much a part of Van Halen, his backup vocals. Wouldn't be Van Halen without him, in my opinion. This had several classics on it, right off the bat, and The Cradle Will Rock, still heard on classic rock to this day. Fools, I always liked Fools. Classic slight of teen angst in a simple rhyme, very nice song. Could This Be Magic? I mean, I always liked this one. And the title, Women and Children First, comes from a line in this from Could This Be Magic? Loss of Control, very good rock and roll song. Take Your Whiskey Home, very good. Everybody Wants Some. That's another one. That's probably could be my most favorite song on the album. Everybody Wants Some. Eddie's playing is just brilliant on this album. Just an extension of the first two albums. Revolutionary, and every band that came out after 1978, especially out of Southern California and even as far away as Europe, South America, they were coming from everywhere. They were all pretty much Van Halen clones, with the blonde lead singer and the flashy black-haired guitarist. And there was none flashier and none better than the original Eddie Van Halen, a master, an absolute master. And he just proved his dominance in future albums after this. They had quite a run with David Lee Roth until they switched singers in the mid-'80s after the album 1984, which we will cover at a later time, but that was the last one with David Lee Roth, and then they got Sammy Hagar in. That's all a story for another time. I didn't even talk about the release. So this came out in 1980 on Warner Brothers. And this is an original from 1980. I believe it's from the Winchester pressing plant. And it was purchased at Cheap Thrills Records in Dedham, Massachusetts. That became my record store. And after the run of Quincy Records, it's quite a store. There's a shot of the label. Like I said, this one came out in 1980. I probably purchased it. I had this one on CD from the get-go, from the mid-'80s. But this is what I consider an upgrade from CD to vinyl. I probably bought this about 6 or 7 years ago from Rob at Cheap Thrills Records. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. And who knows what we'll be covering next week, but I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Thanks very much for watching, YouTube. Good night.